Włączamy mikro. Okej, powinno być okej.
Powinno.
Ja chowam Discorda, bo i tak to jest duże okno i nie wiem co kto pisze, ale okej. To jest twoja wina, że ty wybrałeś, ja tego nie wybierałam.
Moja wina! Czemu ty to w ogóle tam wzięłaś?
Żeby ci robić traumę. Oczywiście. A co myślałeś? No, także kontynuując twoją traumę. Zaczynamy.
To niby ja jestem ten zły, nie?
No, uwielbiam to, że zaczyna się od imienia, które bym wybrała, ale jednak...
Dobra.
Idziemy na hi. Yes. Genitalia?
O.
Non-binary.
E.
Ale to jest ciekawe, pierwszy raz widzę taką opcję. Jak zrobimy to, to będzie mamy babcia na D&D.
Dokładnie.
No. No bo to są options, to jest load, to? No. Okay. I'm insane, we are not the same, I think. Okay.
Już żałuję.
Czytasz.
I see. I can't wait to finally meet you, Angel. Nie miałobyś mamy mój? O.
To ksywka.
To też czytasz?
Nie, to chyba już ja.
Powodzenia.
Aha. And in other news, the remains of yet another body has been pulled out from Lake Blumos, making it a total of 4 unidentifiable victims this past year. Authorities believe that... Amebuś czyta, czy nie? Dobra, ja będę Amebuś. Byłoby okej.
Jej.
Uk. Stifling a groan from the rim of my coffee cup, I fish around for the remote lodge between the cushions and turn off the TV. I wasn't about to let some morbid headline dampen the start of my cheerful morning, especially considering how today was going to be my first day at work after finally getting that hard-earned promotion. Nice! Money. I mean, sure, stacking and sorting through books at the library might not have been my dream job or even my first choice of places to work after moving back, but the pay was nice, my coworkers were friendly, and the building was located within the perfect walking distance from my apartment. There was even this adorable little bakery along the way that served the best shortcakes in croissants. Croissant. And the manager there always loved to hand out small freebies whenever I stopped by. I guess going back to Coraland Bay wasn't so bad. I mean, aside from all the murder and killing that's been going on recently. It still beats living in the city though. Honestly, I wasn't even sure why I left my hometown in the first place. The fast-paced hustle and bustle lifestyle of the city just wasn't what I was longing for whenever I stared out of my window on sleepless nights, and the people there were always rude and indigent. Yeah, it was nothing like Coraland Bay, where everyone felt like a close-knit family and the air smelled like the sea rather than pollution. And sure, the local crime rate might be getting out of hand as of late, and there might be fewer things for me to do here, but my new job keeps me busy and I prefer spending time alone at the beach over visiting shady bars with people I barely consider friends. In fact, setting my Mac onto the table, I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. A notification from Moth. Meb. My online friend pops up, so I tap on the screen to read their message. What greets me is an adorable sticker of some anime character giving a thumbs up, as well as a short message that says good luck today underneath. Meb had always been showing their endless support for me. even after 5 years of friendship, cross memes, and shitty Wi-Fi video calls. And even though I would never admit it out loud, I was truly grateful to have someone like them in my life. Putting up the keyboard, I begin to type a response to their message. How will you respond? Zęba coming with zero context.
Oczywiście, że to czwarte. Oczywiście, że czwarte.
Without missing a beat, I'd open up the image gallery with practice fingers and send back a blurry picture of a worm in a bag of crepes with the words exhibited in glitter form. Not even 5
To miał
seconds
być
pass before Meb quips back with a response of their own, this time saying their own cryptic meme of a frog sitting on a slice of bread. To ty.
Tak!
Is that butter? Before I can ask, a grey chat bubble pops up once more, indicating that Meb was still typing on the message. To ty. Czytasz.
Oh, didn't you say last night that you're gonna head to work at 8 a.m.? Because it's like almost 9. Też ja nie wiem w godzinę, nie?
9:30 albo 9:30.
9:30 where you are now right now. Oh. Right, or am I just dumb and got the time zones mixed up again? No.
Lol. Looking at time displayed on my phone, I immediately let out a string of curses and leaped to my feet. Shit. Grabbing the coat that I had carelessly strewn across the back of the sofa earlier, I quickly shrugged it on before making a beeline towards the front door. Before I leave, however, I'll spare myself one final glance in the poorly hung mirror in the hallway. Hopefully, the outfit I chose was appropriate for my job. What style did you go for? Professional. Press is because...
Nie wiem, co mnie bardziej zastanawia, to, że ja wiedziałem, tak jakby moja postać wiedziała, co babcia robi o której godzinie.
No, znasz mnie, to twoja postać 5 lat, jakby. Czego się spodziewasz?
Wiedzisz, że za 5 lat będę wiedział, o której chodzisz do pracy?
Możliwe. Może jeszcze będę kończyć studia, ale anyways. Perhaps it's because I'm still in my impress psychologist phase, but sometimes it's best just to wear something appropriate for my job. Tugging at the iron-out collar of my blazer, I give myself a small spin in the mirror to make sure that everything was in the right place. But enough of that, I can check myself out another time. Hastily, I smooth out the wrinkles and pick off any stray pieces of lint from my sleeves before I finally head out the front door. And almost catch my coat on the door handle in the process. With a grumble, I tug at the fabric of my coat before slamming the door shut with a little bit too much force than necessary. Even trying to insert my key came with a bit of a struggle, and I had to fight the urge to yell in frustration as I attempt to lock my door. Seriously, when will that lazy bum of a landlord do something about this? I swear I've complained about this at least 4 times this month. Oh, it's a girl. Co czyta dziewczyna?
Chyba cię coś boli.
No spróbuj.
O, chyba cię coś właśnie boli. Powodzenia, babciu, powodzenia.
Aha. Oh, hey there, my boy's looking good. My neighbor Violet practically beams at me while she fishes through her pockets for her own apartment key. Resting on her hip was yet another potted plant, and I found myself wondering where she was going to put it this time. I was almost entirely convinced that her whole apartment had been turned into a greenhouse at this point, considering how her balcony was practically filled to the brim with different kinds of plants, greenery, and other various kinds of flora. But I wasn't about to complain or anything. The fragrance that wafted in with the wind almost smelled floral and earthy, and it did well to mask the smell of smoke and burnt food whenever I tried to cook. Love the shoes, by the way. Her voice pulls me away from my thoughts, and I notice how the growing smile on her face doesn't seem to falter. In response, I showed her one of my own, and it was apparently enough to brighten her mood even more than it was already. How will you respond? Która?
A!
No.
Czemu się mnie teraz pytasz?
No bo, nie wiem, ja bym wybrała kilka, jakby mogła.
Które?
Kilka.
A.
Także potrzebuję decyzji.
A. Daj drugie. Możemy się spóźnić, ale trudno.
Is that another plant? Oh yeah, this is Charlie. I'm thinking of putting her next to Olivia. That's fucking psychotic. Great. She
Naprawdę to
named
są
her
ten-
plants.
Tak naprawdę to są tak jakby...
A.
Wiesz, to ona, tak naprawdę ona jest tym, co morduje, nie? Kwiaty to są tak jakby kwiatki, które wyrosły na grobach i tak jakby tych...
To jest słaba hipoteza.
No właśnie nie, to jest bardzo dobra hipoteza.
Słaba.
I dlatego mają imiona, to są imiona jej tak jakby tych.
Nie, po prostu może być coś nie
Witkins.
tak z głową.
To też jest, ale moje jest bardziej ciekawe.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. I've been meaning to ask you this, but when were you going to tell me that you were seeing someone? Huh? A knowing look pulls
Oh.
at her features as Violet continues to fiddle with the lock on her door. What are you talking about? Come on, don't act like you didn't just have a guy over last night. I saw him even when I took Cathy out for a walk.
O,
I'd be more worried about my neighbor taking her named plants, out on a walk at night, but the thought of someone leaving my apartment seemed to set off way more alarm bells. I give Violet a concerned look and she picks up on it almost immediately. You don't remember? Don't tell me you were drunk or something.
babcia się jak zwykle spiła, to na pewno był ten.
Chyba mówisz o sobie, to nie ja.
Czemu mnie?
With a huff, she gives up on trying to unlock her door. It seems as though we both share the same problem with our apartment locks, and places her potted plant on the ground before slowly making her way towards me. Tall guy, wearing a dark slasher hoodie, probably into either old-fashioned or bandage with this crazy amount of bells and loops wrapped around his neck. Ring any bells? No. Last night I was just catching up on some TV shows and talking with my friend. No one came here. Even if they did, I would have heard them. My place isn't really that big anyway. Really? But I was so sure it was your door. A hand rests on her cheek in a thinking manner before she pouts up at me, seemingly giving in for now. Well, alright then. Maybe it was somebody else's apartment. I mean, it's always so dark in these hallways at night. Honestly, what is our landlord doing? Would you mind if I check in with security downstairs later? It will give me some peace of mind. Yeah, that's fine. Alright then, thank you, Ambush. But I cut some plants to water and some animals to ride in, so Violet lets out one last half before she picks up her plant. What did she name this one again? And goes back to unlocking her door. Good tack, I guess, even if it was kinda awkward. Yeah, sure. See you later, bye. Slipping past my neighbor and into the cramped hallway, I quickly make for the stairs. When will they fix that broken elevator and break into a slight drop? On jest bogaty, że ma jakąś windę w mieszkaniu.
No cóż, babcia miała mnie znaleźć, ale to tak naprawdę ja szpieguję babcię.
Uh-huh. Thankfully, the weather was cool today, and the shoes I chose weren't going to leave me with blisters by the time I reached the library. The smell of old paper, coffee, and soft incensed floats my senses as I stepped through the library's glass doors. The melodic
chimes alert the woman at the reception desk of my arrival, and I watch as she tucks a strand of stray blonde hair behind her ear as she turns around to greet me. Hey, Eleanor.
Okej, ty ją czytasz. Powodzenia.
No cóż, och. Och,
Ale spróbuj jak baba to czytać.
och.
Serio.
O!
She looks surprised for some reason before her expression morphs into a soft smile, and she beckons me closer with a nod of her head. Eleanor is one of my co-workers here at Corland Bay Library and one of the very few people here who actually gets the work done. And although she's notorious for being rather scatterbrained, she more than makes up for it with her caring and doting attitude towards everyone.
But her nurturing personality can get rather overbeating at times, and I often find myself having to step away to get some breathing room. Nevertheless, she's charming to work with, and I appreciate her always looking out for me. After all, who knows what my sleeping schedule would have looked like without her help.
I wish just one time I printed out your... Wait. Or did I?
Wait.
Tak.
Okej.
Był sen, nie?
Tak.
Ciekawie, nie powiem. Myślałem, że to ja mam powalone sny.
Babcia napisała mi dobranoc. Okay.
O!
Her expression turns into a slight panic as she spins on her heels, and I silently watch with amusement as she shuffles through the various books and stacks of papers lining her desk.
Where did I leave it? Ah, here it is.
Spinning around once more, Eleanor comes back and hands me a sheet of paper with the war schedule printed in big, bold letters. I take it from her grasp and give the sheet once over. Well, it looks like I'm going to be busy for the next few weekends, but I guess Eleanor doesn't seem to share the same disdain as me, judging from the playful look plastered on her face.
So, how does it feel to no longer be the one in charge of stacking books all day long? Though you still have to work from desk from time to time, though. Fortunately.
I offer a weak smile as at her words before rounding the corner and placing my bag under the desk. And as I begin to pull out some of my belongings, the front door chimes again, letting everyone know that another patron has come in. The fuck. Figuring Eleanor has it covered, I leave the customer to her as I go back to preparing everything for the day. But as I turned around to check on her, I noticed that she had already finished greeting the customer and was on her way back to her own desk across from mine. As if sensing my gaze, she spins around in her office chair and flashes me a teasing grin.
Looks like he's back again.
Eleanor gives a soft chuckle as she inclines her head in the direction of the person she was talking about.
You know, that new guy, I don't know when he started showing up here in the Bay, but he always comes in and rents out the books you recommend on display window. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say he has a little crush on you.
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Especially with that outfit. I don't know about him, but I think that blazer looks great on you.
Snorting, I push Eleanor's office chair so that she's facing the other way and focus my attention back to the papers in front of me. What was with everyone today? Always smiling, gossiping about people, and meddling in business that wasn't their own. It was bad enough that I had to deal with a potential intruder, but I doubt my deadbeat landlord was going to do anything about it. I might need to buy a stronger lock on my way home from work, but maybe even some kind of alarm system. But would the stores will still be open by then? All of a sudden I get pulled backwards as Eleanor playfully wheels my chair around and leans over my shoulder to softly speak into my ear.
Did you look at that? Overboy in ISIL 8 is somehow, it seems.
She nods in the direction of the red light flashing above the bookshelves, signaling to the staff that someone in that row needed assistance. With a sigh, I reluctantly stand up and make my way over. I already knew for a fact that Eleanor wasn't going to go help them herself, so I begin to make my way towards aisle 8 alone. I knew better than to glance back at her, though knowing fully well that my teasing coworker would be sporting the biggest grin on her face at my misfortune. Brzmi jak ja.
No cóż,
Ducking
życie.
Looking around the corner and into the aisle, I was immediately met with a board backside that was covered by what had to be the comfiest looking curtain I'd ever seen. The person who it belonged to, however, hadn't seemed to notice me yet, so I awkwardly cleared my throat and absent-mindedly shifted my weight from one foot to the other. Ahem. Czytasz go?
A? Co?
Tak, dobrze, zrozumiałaś.
Zrozumiałem.
Zrozumiałeś, że masz go czytać.
A.
Bardzo dobrze,
No cóż.
bardzo dobrze. He seems to jump at the sudden noise before sheepishly turning around to face me. Immediately I was taken aback by his soft demeanor, doe-like eyes and imposing height. So this was the guy who always rented out my recommended books on the display window, huh? He definitely fit the aesthetic of a cozy literature novel needing a good book. His pink hair also...
To jest ten taki, który ten.
Nie wiem, o kim mówisz.
O ten główny bohater, który ten...
No, być może.
Nieładnie, wybrałaś złe ubrania.
His pink hair also reminded me of Haruko, an anime character I had recently been obsessing over with Meb, during our late-night video calls. In fact, even the overall cut and style appeared vaguely similar to his. But then again, this hairstyle could have been trending right now or something, and I just so happened to be the last to know about it. But now that I've really had a good look at the man, which proved difficult considering his towering height, this stranger also seemed to bear a near picture-perfect resemblance to the main lead from this webtoon I was reading. It was called Always With You, and it revolved around the main character meeting the love of his life at Library, where they both...
Widzisz, babciu, w tym też jesteś niska.
Spierdolaj. As if noticing my space outlook, the stranger absent-mindedly stretches out his
jaw while he waits for me to snap out of my thoughts. In fact, I had been so distracted that I didn't even realize that he had been muttering quietly to himself.
Dobra, to na pewno jestem ja. Ta postać to... O! A tak, to jestem ja na pewno.
To,
Teraz sobie mówię zawsze pod nosem.
czytaj.
I wasn't expecting you to show up so soon. Sorry, I hope I'm not bothering you. I was looking for,
His voice pulls me back to the present, and I hastily try to make sense of what was spilling from his cherry tinted lips.
Oh my god. Watching him struggle with his words would have made any apathetic person feel bad, so I offer him a reassuring smile in return and an encouraging nod of my head. At that, he takes a steady inhale of air before trying again.
I need some help. I'm looking for a specific book, you see, but...
And now he's playing with the ends of his sleeves. I felt the sudden urge to reach out and stop him, but did I find the action annoying, endearing, relatable? Who knows? But instead, I held back and waited for him to find the words to speak. But, wow, even his mannerism was eerily similar to Haruko's. The endearing awkwardness and subtle sleeve tugging gave me a sense of deja vu, and it honestly felt like he walked straight out of the anime and into this very library. Man, Meb is gonna freak when I tell them about this later. The stranger in front of me takes in another shaky inhale before he tries to speak once more, this time with a lot more confidence in his tone and a fire in his eye.
Do you have any books on native flora? The best I've found are on generic wildlife, but nothing about Courlands-based plants. Or maybe I'm just in the wrong Aisl? Co to Aisl? To jest tak jakby te przedziały?
Alejka.
O, Aisl, okay.
He was looking for a book about the native flora. Perhaps I should introduce him to Violet. Chuckling to myself at the thought, I stepped closer to the tall man and began scanning the contents of the shelf beside him. He almost seems to flinch at the sudden closeness between us, but showed no sign of moving away. In fact, he seemed to almost lean closer and incline his head towards mine. And had I not been too preoccupied with finding that book, I would have noticed how his breath hitches in his throat as my skin floods his senses. Oh my fucking god. No, you're definitely in the right aisle. Those kinds of books are just more hidden, I guess. I step past him this time and make my way over to the lower part of the shelves. Absent-mindedly, I run a finger against the spines of each book until I came into contact with one book in particular. Then, bending over slightly, I pull the book from the shelf and give the cover a once over before offering it to the man behind me. Is this what you're looking for? Too preoccupied with the misplaced book on the bookshelf, who brings cooked books to the nature aisle, I barely notice how his blue eyes hungrily tray across my phone before landing on the book held out in my outstretched hand. With shaky fingers, he reaches out and takes it from me. I watch as he flips through a few pages to take in some information before finally settling on the book with an affirmative note.
Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for, thank you.
I'm glad.
You're like an angel sent down from heaven or something. You're so kind too. No, strucu tutaj, kurde, ale jest najbardziej evil osobą.
Prawie nie gadałeś u Sofii w ogóle, WTF.
Co?
Nie tak graliśmy, nie tak się obiecaliśmy. Co ty mi prawie u Sofii kurde, no, u Sofii, tak dzisiaj.
No nieładnie, babciu, nieładnie.
Tak, twoja wina. What?
No ta, moja, no. Najgorsze jest to, że mi już dzisiaj nie myślę, nie? Jest tak późno.
Ja też.
I ja myślę w połowie po angielsku, a w połowie po polsku i ja dosłownie... No! W połowie po polsku i w połowie po angielsku i jednocześnie tak jakby wiem słówko po angielsku, a nie znam po polsku, to już mnie denerwuje. What? Nieładnie, babciu. I didn't. Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. That must have been so weird. I'm sorry.
He
Co on
looked...
powiedział? Czekaj, bo jakoś nie zanotowałem tego. Co on powiedział? Powiedział tylko, że dziękuję, nie?
Nie, a Membuś powiedział co, a on powiedział co i potem zaczął mówić nie, sorry, przepraszam, nie chciałem tak powiedzieć na głos.
O.
No. He looked as though he was about to cry now, so I hastily threw up my hands in a comforting manner and shot him a reassuring smile. Hey, it's fine. No need to freak out. I wasn't expecting someone to say that about me, so...
Really? Well, I think it's proof for what it's worth. Really are like an angel. Tu, kurna.
Thanks. Figuring that was my cue to leave before things got awkward, I gave him one last friendly smile and sadly glanced back toward the front desk. But the eccentric man showed no signs of moving. Instead, he just looked down at me expectantly. Did he want to continue the conversation? It seemed unlikely as he didn't say anything. He simply stared at me. Awkwardly, I cleared my throat for what had to be the millionth time today and gestured vaguely to the reception desk behind me. Well, if you don't need any more help, I should... This is just getting weird now.
Jak mam wydać dźwięk 3 kropek?
Nic, proszę nic nie mów.
O.
Should
Okay.
I even attempt to continue this conversation or just leave? I mean, it would seem rude to just walk away abruptly, especially considering how he's apparently a regular patron in a library I work at, but he wasn't making much of an effort either, so what should I do? How will you respond? Lie.
O.
Stare back, it's a contest.
Wodzenia babciu, ty wybierasz tym razem. Ja wcześniej wybierałem. A. Just teraz biegnę. Especially when it's with a stranger you don't know.
Actually, now that I think about it, you haven't told me your name yet.
Oh, haha, I guess you're right. You can call me... O.
Redacted? Czekaj, co? What the fuck? No, jakbyś go nazwał, jakby nie czytając tego.
Ja nie umiem imiona babciu.
No to powiedz jak wygląda. Co najbardziej zwraca na niego uwagę? No.
To, że ma takie fajne ubrania, takie wygodne.
No to powiedz...
A ty wybrałaś eleganckie, dlatego to jest problem!
Ty masz problem.
Dokładnie.
Dokładnie. No to powiedz jakiś, you can call me, nie, czekaj, comfy boy, sweater boy, jumper boy?
Będzie comfy boy.
There's it. Comfy boy? Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
What? It was like he said something, but his voice was delayed. Was that even his voice? Was he speaking English? It almost felt like something that came out of a dream. How did you do that?
What? Anyways, you can just call me Ren. Like,
No.
it's alright if I call you babcia. Although Angel does suit you just as well. My personal option at least, haha.
We never said our names, so like, what the fuck? Seriously, what the hell just happened? Was I just imagining things? And was he really flirting with me right now?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I think. But how did you know my name? I don't remember telling you.
Skubana. Serious on your name. No widzisz, Laciu.
As if prove a point, Ren reaches out to gently flick the name tag that I somehow forgot that I had put on this morning. Oh,
Babcia is a cute name though.
Chciałbyś, a Mebuś.
It's really fun to say, especially over and over again.
Zanim znowu powiesz to słowo, jak się czyta especially? Jak to się czyta?
No, especially.
Nie.
Oczywiście, że especially, wiesz, trzeba tak jakby,
especially.
jak włosko czy coś. Especially.
Czytaj bez IA.
Especially?
Mhm.
Brr.
Right. Anyways.
Say, are you busy?
Mhm.
Busy later? I'd love to thank you for helping me find this book.
Seriously, what was up? What was up with this guy? One minute he's shy and the next he's bold. It was almost like he was putting up several fronts to see which one I responded to better. The joke's on him though, because I found all of his fronts as equally as headache in Dakin.
Powiem ci tak, że to tak naprawdę z tym ja w realnym życiu mówię ci.
Nie.
Tak,
Nie masz
mówisz.
różowych włosów.
Dobra, ale nie z wyglądu, tylko z zachowania.
Tak,
Zachowanie to jest 1:1.
Dobra. Actually, I'll be busy this afternoon. I need to buy a new lock for my apartment.
A new lock? Doesn't sound good. May I ask why?
I guess it will hurt to tell them. I mean, what was he going to do? Personally show up at my doorstep and test the new lock himself? Apparently, someone broke into my apartment last night and I didn't notice. I don't think they stole anything, but still, it's creepy. I figure it'd be better to be safe than sorry, you know?
Yeah, but it sounds like instead of a lock, you just need to jump there, come back when they at least expect. Ja już nie umiem czytać dzisiaj, babcia chce spać.
Dawaj.
They at least expect it and beat them up to teach them a lesson. Stay up all night if you have to. Really get dash on them.
I couldn't help but let out a genuine chuckle at his suggestion. If I had to choose, then this would have to be the side of him that I prefer. He seemed at ease, and his words weren't as forced as or awkward. Yeah, and who's gonna be the one to beat up the guy at 3 a.m.? Because last I checked, I'm not really the type to go around throwing punches at people I don't know. And definitely not before the sun is up and shining.
Do it for you.
You, but I mean, we don't even know each other that well, and
That's fine. I could tell you all about myself on the walk there. My whole life story and everything. Where I was born, the school I went to, how many cute parents I've met. Which happens to be one spot. Dobra, to jednak nie jestem ja,
to nie to. Mówiłam. Before I could even comment on his sudden confidence, Rand seems to pick up on my discomfort at his choice of words, if it even was discomfort that I was feeling, and hastily backtracks.
Hey, or not, I was just messing around. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable.
jak się to czyta ostatnie słowo?
Comfortable.
Nie czytaj...
Jest table jak z Minecrafta, nie?
Właśnie nie!
Tak.
Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable.
Powtórz.
Zaczynasz od comfortable.
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 Omijam for.
No tak w sumie.
Comfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Kiedy Michał się umył?
Czekam, to jest? Nie, wyciszony. There it was again, that subtle shift in his personality, but now that he mentioned it, would it really hurt to invite him to my place for the night?
Nic nie słyszałaś, jestem ninja po prostu.
He definitely looked like he could handle himself in a fight. His contrasting outfit aside, so maybe it wasn't so bad of an idea. How will you respond? Don't? Nie, teraz ty wybierasz. Ja byłam ostatnio.
Oczywiście, że babcia chce zaprosić jakiegoś randomowego człowieka do domu.
Z którym się utożsamiasz, oczywiście.
Dokładnie.
Actually, you know what? Would you mind coming over and staying the night? I would feel a bit safer knowing someone else was around.
Problem solved, co nie? Okej. Ej, znowu jest wycieszony.
I'm giving you 1 minute, boy.
Oh,
O.
you actually want me to go over? I mean, yeah.
Co ty mi profil na TikToku obserwujesz? Godzinę
Co?
temu.
Co?
Dostałam powiadomienie, Mewelin obejrzał twój profil godzinę temu. Na TikToku.
O,
Excuse me.
godzinę temu nie byłem na TikToku.
Aha.
Więc to...
No.
O,
No.
nie wiem. I mean, yeah, sure. Definitely.
He seems a bit too eager for this. If it's not too much trouble, I could...
O, teraz ty.
Where is he? Oh, Ebuś. Ah,
Ah,
there are you. There you are.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone on the front desk is looking for you and... Oh, sorry. Are you busy right now? I can...
impeccable timing as always, Eleanor. No, it's fine. I think everything is already handled here, right? I give the two of them a soft smile before making my way towards the reception desk. But as I pass by Eleanor, I gently clasp a hand on her shoulder and shoot her a playful look of my own. If you need more help, I'm sure Eleanor here can assist you. She loves helping others, right?
And as I turn to leave, I barely miss the way Ren's eyes zone in on my hand, resting on Eleanor's shoulder. Cheers. Hours seems to pass by in a blur, and soon enough I find myself resting up in the employees' lodge. My mind drifts back to the guy from earlier, and I couldn't help but wonder what happened to him afterwards. Did he rent out the book I offered? What about my recommended novel of the week? Ren surely was strange to say the least, but I had to admit that he did seem kind of cute with his oversized cardigan and timid demeanor. He still gave me off-putting vibes though, especially with his ever-changing personality, and if I had to be completely honest, that shy and timid persona that he displayed felt rather forced to me. It was almost as if he saw it on TV or something and wanted to try it out himself, and I just happened to be one of his first victims. But who was I to call him out for it? That was his business, and he wanted to act all shy and demo. Chcesz go czytać?
Teraz twoja kolej, babciu.
Jak co?
No tak to.
Czy ja muszę męski głos mówić? Nie umiem.
Jak chcesz.
Ambush, everything alright? It's not even often I find you in here at this time. Conan, my boss, startless? Would fuck me as he suddenly appears in the entranceway. Everyone saw him as some kind of blessing to this institution before, because the moment he showed up, all forms of trouble seemed to disappear overnight. Those low-light teens start causing chaos elsewhere, and the rumored gangs became few and far between. What the fuck? At first I thought that he might have been linked with those criminals because of his intimidating gaze and facial scars, but then I got to know him better and found out that he had a massive soft spot for those dear to him. Though much like Eleanor, Conan felt more like a father figure with how much he frets over his staff and their well-being. I mean, he literally installed a new air conditioner and water dispenser last week because one of his employees fainted due to heart stroke. It wasn't anything too major, but it was nice to know that our boss was considerate enough the people he hired. I doubt I could say the same about my old job in the city. Conan was also nice to chat to whenever I went on my breaks and would always encourage me to take as much time as I needed before I returned to my desk. But after realizing that I had once again been spacing out, I pulled myself away from my thoughts and turned to offer my boss an acknowledging smile. Yeah, I'm fine, just taking a short break. It will be back out there. I'll be back out there soon. Take as long as you need. Don't overwork yourself. He seems hesitant to leave. If the way he was shifting from one foot to the other was any indication, he shoots me a concerned look before opening his mouth, only to close it once more in contemplation. Have you seen Eleanor? I asked her to come here and see me regarding the uncertain novels in the storeroom, but she's yet to show up. Eleanor. Last I saw her, she was talking to one of our patrons in AO8. Maybe she's still there. I'll have to check out again then. Thank you.
Jedna osoba mniej. Nie znajdą jej już, mówię ci.
Ty chyba jesteś tym głównym
On jest
bohaterem, serio.
No, już powiedziałem.
Jakby z jednej strony tak, z drugiej strony nie.
Jeszcze pewnie on jest odpowiedzialny za te morderstwa, nie?
No tak, oczywiście.
No.
To nawet nie potrzeba dyskusji. And with that he disappeared just as quietly as he came. But that was odd. It wasn't like Eleanor to suddenly go missing. Was she still occupied with Ren? It would have been a while, so I figured she would have finished helping him and left by now. Oh well, I'm sure she'd turn up sooner or later. Ren didn't seem much like a talkative person anyway. Geez, why did my thoughts keep returning to the eccentric man? I don't know. I don't know.
You know too? Don't ask me.
Deciding that I wasn't going to waste my time thinking about any more pink-haired guys, my beloved Haruko aside, I got up from the lodge and meandered my way back towards the front desk again. But once I arrived, I immediately noticed that my Charlie coworker was still nowhere to be found. It was just like my boss had said. Eleanor wasn't anywhere to be seen, and it wasn't like her to leave the reception desk unattended for so long. Maybe she managed to knock over a pile of books again and was busy cleaning up. It certainly wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary for her. Well, whatever. I'm sure she'll turn up again soon. The impact from me plopping down into my office chair causes more of the papers around me to rustle, and a bright pink sticky note fluttering around captures my attention. Assuming it was left here by Eleanor, I peeled the folded note off my computer screen and read it. Czytasz.
Angel.
Unfolding it read the following.
I will wait for you after work, but if you change your mind about our deal, just keep walking. I'll take the hint, don't worry.
Oh,
Stuttering guy from my AO8.
oh. The stuttering guy from AO8. I couldn't help but crack a smile at the name Ren chose for himself. And before I could allow Eleanor the chance to manifest behind me and to tease me to Kingdom Come, I pocketed the note and go back to sorting through the stack of returned books left on the desk. Oh god. True to his word, I caught a glimpse of Ren patiently waiting for me on one of the benches as I pack up for the day and leave the library. From afar, he looked like an oversized puppy waiting for his owner to return from work, and admittedly, I found it really cute, especially with how his figurative tail started walk upon my arrival. Ren seems all too happy to see me, but before I could call him out on it, he offers me a bottle of water that I assume he bought from one of the convenience stores down the street. Wyciszony. Minutka. Oczywiście. Okej. Aha, okej. Czyli już nie ma ameby. Rozumiem. Puf. Dobra. Kontynuując. Okay, let's go. You've worked hard today. Now you can finally rest, huh? He's looking down at me again with a glimmer of expectancy in his eyes, so I hastily take the bottle of water from his grasp and give him an affirmative nod of my head. Thanks. No problem. Did you want to head out now, or do you want to rest for a bit? I mean, you were standing a lot up today. He seems almost lost in his thoughts now, and I wonder how he knew what I would been doing all day. After all, I figured he would have left after he found that book, but maybe he stayed a bit longer to read it. Oh, no, I'm fine, but do you think we could make a quick detour on the way? I still need to... Bush. Kim jest kurwa Jay? Hey yo! Leon kurwa, uwielbiam cię. I could recognize those boisterous voices anywhere. The first one belonged to Jae Hyun, a guy I had met during my early days at university. He sat down next to me during the first few days of orientation and even offered to lend me his phone charger when my battery started to run out. He's a fun guy to be around, though his extroverted and energetic personality was often hard to keep up with. Thank his face. But Leon, the other guy awkwardly hanging off of Jay's arm, was a different story. We'd practically known each other since we were babies, but he moved away from Coral Bay when we were still in elementary school. Oh, I wasn't sure when he moved back to the Bay, but it was great knowing I would be able to see him again. I just wish I could find the time to hang out with him just like we used to. But I was always busy with work and he was always busy playing volleyball and taking care of his sick mother in the hospital. Before I knew it, I was being pulled out of my thoughts by Jay's bubbly laughter. Hey, stay with us. Hey, I'm always finally finished this work. Oh, who's this? This is Ren. We actually met at work today. Maybe it was a good idea to tell Leon, the human personification of overprotective, that I had just met the man today. What would he think if he found out I was bringing home a complete stranger? Yeah, he usually rents out my recommended books at the library. Anyways, Leon, Jay, this is Ren. Ren, this is Leon, Jay. Unfortunately, those guys are my friends. It's truly unfortunate to know a handsome bloke such as myself. Leon dramatically clutches at the spot above his heart as he leans further into Jay's shoulder. So, you're Ren. Are you still new here? I like to think I know everyone here at Bay, but it seems you've proven me wrong. Yeah, I recently moved here a couple of months ago. Oh, same as a Mebush. I'm pretty sure he moved back here 2 months ago, right? Leon looks at me for confirmation and I meekly nod my head. Strange how I've only been back here for 2 months and I've yet to find enough time to clutch up with all my friends. Oh, what a coincidence. Yeah, sure. Anyways, talking about moving is boring. Do you wanna come hang with us? I barely noticed the way Ren gets shoved to the side by Jay. Intentional or not, nor could I make out the scroll of his face as soon as the excitable mailing started to too close into my personal bubble. We're just about to head out to Club's shoreline. Do you wanna come? I'm sure Leon wouldn't mind paying for you as well. Oi, I don't mind paying for him, but who said anything about paying for you? I did, just now. Thanks, Leon. You're the best. I don't miss the way Leon rolls his eyes at Jay's antics before settling his gaze on me once more. Do you wanna tag along? I really don't mind paying if you do. Sorry guys, I've actually already made plans. And do these plans have anything to do with this lanky fellow?
My name is Ren. Actually, yeah. I promise I'd hang out with him today.
Aw, he can come clubbing with us too, the more the merrier. I'd rather not. Sorry, maybe another time. I'm kinda drained from my work anyway, so... Yeah, no worries though. Just make sure you take it easy when you get home, yeah? He shoots me a considerate smile before throwing an arm over Jay's shoulder. Well then, if you'll excuse us, I gotta find a way to get this knucklehead to cover his own entry fees. We can all catch up another time, okay?
And if you need help with anything, just give me a ring, yeah? I'll watch my phone like a hog tonight.
It was nice catching up with you again, though. And nice meeting you too, Ron. As they leave, I notice the way Leon looks Ren up and down, almost as he was sizing him up, but Jay, like always, ignores the mood and throws Leon in the back of to encourage him to walk faster. I watch as they both throw a carefree wave over their shoulders as they both head off in the direction of the nightclub, a few blocks down the street. So that wasn't awkward at all. Okay, chwilę, co to jest?
Oh my god. What the fuck is that? No, for real, what the fuck is that?
Oh my god, he looks hot.
He's hot.
Fyodor.
Oh my god.
No, that's waiter. Właśnie muzyki. Okay, let's go.
I turned to look at Ren, but his eyes seemed to be fixated on the two retreating figures. He doesn't seem to snap out of it, so I gently call out his name again. Oh, sorry. Do you wanna head back home now? In the end, we made a quick detour to the local locksmith before heading out to my apartment.
Oh my god.
So, this is my place. You'll have to excuse the mess. I wasn't expecting to have anyone over. Hey, don't worry about it. I know you're not of a messy person. I mean, from what I can tell, you don't really seem like the type. Yeah, well, I hope you can still keep the image of me after you see the state of my place. His soft-laughter echoes down the hallway and almost drowns out the sound of my neighbor opening the door. Oh, Violet almost seems embarrassed as she jumps behind her door, clearly not expecting someone to be around at this time, but she brushes it off with a soft smile and steps outside.
Hello again, Emma Bush. We seem to be jumping into each other a lot today. Oh, who's this?
How do I explain to my neighbor that Ren wasn't some guy I had just met at work today? I'm certain she'd chew me out for bringing home a complete stranger, but still, he didn't exactly seem like the type to murder in my sleep. In fact, he seemed more like the type of guy to ask me to return his order because he asked for no pickles or something. I'm Ren. Immediately, his large frame blocks my view as he steps in front of my neighbor and me, almost as he wanted to put as much distance between us as possible. One of his hands shoots out from inside his pocket, and he gruffly offers it to Violet for her to shake. Concerned about his abrupt actions, I sidestep him and look up to gauge his expression. I'm afraid of Amebush.
I see. I haven't seen you around before though. Are you new to the area?
Relax, bye. He's not a serial killer or anything. The same somebody said about Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. At least, I sure hope he wasn't. And why do I feel the sudden urge to defend him? It wasn't like I could confidently say that he was some sort of holy being that flew down from heaven or something. Maybe he was the one who needed to be called an angel instead.
Oh well, it didn't really matter. Really. Ren actually offers to stay at my place for the night in case that creep decided to come back. Oh, well, I mean, he certainly has the height for it.
I get that a lot. But don't worry, he's safe in my hands.
Well, alright then, a friend of Mebush is a friend of mine. But I have my eye on you, Mr. Totally not a serial killer. She whispers the next part to Ren under her breath, but certainly had the intention of letting me hear it out well. Just remember that I know what you look like now, so don't complain if you see your face plastered all over my cartoons soon enough. Well, write it down, enjoy your night, and no funny business, you two. I'm off for my walk. Doodles.
Ignore her, please. Alright. Okay, but I gotta ask, was she holding a potted plant on a walk?
Yes, she was.
Dropping my knees into the bowl, I shrug out my coat and drape it over me over one of the chairs in the entrance. Well, make yourself at home. Turning to Ren, I watch as he awkwardly shuffles around in the hallway, almost uncertain if he could come inside or not. He moves to take off his shoes, and I watch in awe as he neatly stacks them next to the umbrella rack. Oh, are you the type to leave your shoes on at home? Sorry, No, you're fine. God, he really was adorable, but now that he was here, I wasn't quite sure what to do next. Usually, I would pop on a TV show or some anime while I chop down on some takeaway food, or even just talk with Meb until some unreasonable hour in the morning, but now that I had company over, I wasn't quite sure what to do. I didn't even know what Ren looked like to do in his free time. Turning to face the pink-haired man once more, I almost jumped back in fright. Certainly, I wasn't expecting him to get so close to me before I was lost in thought. I could almost feel the heart radiating from his large frame and feel the small puffs of air leave his nostril as he shyly leans down to look at me. So, brief, Ambush, brief. Was there anything you wanted to do, or because I usually just, damn it, it was hard to think straight when he was standing so close to me and wafting his doubly strong scent of mint and fresh linen in my direction. Why was I even so attentive to the way he smelled? Well, I'm starting to get creepy. Nah, I don't really have anything I need to do. You can just go about your normal routine if you want, and I try not to get in your way. Or you can just put me in a corner somewhere and pretend I'm not there. Whatever works for you. No offense, but you take up much more room than you think, so I doubt that would work. Touche. Once again, I found myself being drawn in by his soft laughter, and I couldn't help but chuckle along with him. Was it always this easy talking to him? It was like we were childhood friends, reminiscing about his old times or something. Except the only one making it awkward now was me. Gazing back at Ren, I noticed how he's still looking at me with the expectant eyes of his as he looms over me in the entryway. He obviously didn't want to do something I would be uncomfortable with, and he couldn't really suggest anything since this wasn't his home. So I guess the choice was up to me after all. Oh yes, make I know what Are you hungry? I think I've got some leftover takeaways still in the fridge that I can heat up. Or we can raid my pantry for some snacks if you prefer. Is that okay? I don't want to be a bother. Not at all. I'm feeling a bit peckish anyway. Well, alright then. Okay, jedzenie, bądź wszystko okay. Sitting onto the couch with some microwaved food and snacks, Ren and I then decided on something to watch. There wasn't much on at this time besides some BD's horror flick, and to my surprise, I found out that Ren actually liked those kinds of movies. Or at least he seems to enjoy it with the way he was hunched over in his seat, gaze intently staring at the screen as a hunt sequence began.
But I suppose I could understand the intrigue scene as once I glance back at the television I find myself completely enraptured by the suspense and overall chilling atmosphere of it all. The killer was chasing down his victim now, and I watch with bated breath as he stalks his way towards the door, cutting off the glow of light from underneath the door frame, almost smugly, like he knew exactly where his victim was hiding. The masked killer knocks on the door before letting himself in. He walks with heavy footsteps toward the edge of the bed before ever so slowly bending down, lifting the quilt up, raising his eggs, and wow! It wasn't the jump scare that got me, but rather Rand's abrupt yelp, clenching my shirt where my rapid heartbeat frowned against my chest. I spare a glance at the lanky man with fleeting anger in my eyes. Sorry, I really didn't think a cheap jump scare like that would get me. And here I thought you enjoy watching this kind of films. I do, I guess I wasn't paying much attention at the time. I see. I didn't, in fact, see. We can change the movie if you'd like. You don't have to watch it because of me. I know you prefer watching anime anyway. No, I don't mind watching some scary movie. Huh? How do you know I like watching anime? That side of me wasn't something I would go around telling attractive strangers, and I'd certainly remember if I told it to Ren. Oh, I saw one of your posters on your wall when you came in. Attack on Giants or something, I think. Oh, right. I forgot that I hadn't that up when I first moved into my apartment, but I'm surprised that he noticed from all the way in the lodge room. But shouldn't it be dark by now in the hallway? It's not like there were any windows let in the moonlight and I hadn't turned the light on yet. I actually like that anime too. I've recently started watching it because, well, I thought it looked interesting. He watches Attack on Giant. Well, now that I thought about it, it made a lot of sense. He definitely gave off Haruka vibes, and his oddly specific hairstyle and timid personality were proof of that. Then again, it really might have been like considered a coincidence after all, but there was no harm in asking, right? Is that why you styled your hair like this? Because it honestly reminds me of one of the characters from it. He's one of my favorite characters, actually. Do you know him, Haruko? He's the sorcerer who... Come on, remember she toned it down. This wasn't Meppy you would gas into. No one needed to see this cringy side of you, although looking at Ren, he did seem to be interested in what I had to say. But then again, he was probably just being nice. Maybe it is just a trending haircut or something, sorry. I like Haruko too. He's very timid and sweet, isn't he? I guess that's why he's a fan favorite, huh? Did you normally go for guys like him? There's this switch in his personality again. Was he always like this? I was beginning to think that it was more than just an act he was putting on. He's your type, right? Actually, I get a weird sense of deja vu from his words, and I find myself thinking back to the time when Mep asked me that very same question. And that I thought about it, Ren definitely fit the description I gave him. He had Haruko's looks and personality, but also liked to dress in that cozy self-academia aesthetic that I liked. But my secret interests were ever-changing and dependent on my hyperfixations, so I couldn't say for certain what my current type was. As if noticing my far-off stare, Ren breaks the silence by talking once more. But you ask about my hair, right? I guess it does have something to do with Haruko, but at the same time, not really. I chose this hairstyle because of other reasons. But that certainly was ominous. But before I could ask, I watched as Ren subtly tries to make Moscow yaw by turning his head to the side while covering his mouth. It was endearing how he tried to pass it off as though he was simply looking around the room, but I knew better. Tired. I can get your bed set up now if you'd like. Just give me a second to pull out the air mattress. It's fine. I don't want to be a bother. bother. I can't just sleep on the floor or something. I really don't mind, honest. But I have timber flooring? Honestly, don't worry about it. I'll just be 2 seconds. I get up from a spot on the couch and make a beeline for my closet before he can respond. And yet I barely got 3 meters away before I could hear the heavy telltale footstep of Ryan following close behind me once more, almost like a lost puppy. It was honestly kind of cute. Shaking my head to dismiss those thoughts, I pull out my trusting air mattress from the closet and begin setting up in the lodge room. That is until I found out that it has a massive gaping hole on the side. Those damn rats. I swear if I had the chance to move apartments, I would take it in a heartbeat. But until then, I continue to send complaint after complaint to that good-for-nothing landlord. Really, I don't mind sleeping on the floor. And like I said, I have uncomfortable timber flooring, unless... How will you respond? You could share my bed, you could sleep on the couch. My whole house carpet, maybe if I stack some blankets on the floor. I mean... Let's go with... you could sleep on my couch. Why did I think of that sooner? But no, I just had to go and embarrass myself by attempting to blow up an air mattress and find out that it has holes in it because of rats. I'm going to be known as the rat boy now. I would never be able to show my face. Yeah, the couch is fine, but I really don't mind sleeping on the floor, honest. Oh, he doesn't seem fazed about the rats after all. No, it's okay. I'm the one who asked you to do this favor in the first place, so I owe you.
After setting up some blankets and extra pillows for my room, I showed Rand the way to the bathroom in case he needed to go, and bid him good night. It was like my feet were on autopilot. As I returned to my bedroom, silently shutting the door, I awkwardly looked around my room as if I was the guest in my own house. It didn't feel awkward per se, but knowing that I had brought her home as a complete stranger still didn't sit right with me. But still, Ren showed no signs of wanting to murder me in my sleep, and Violet did meet him before he came inside, so maybe this wasn't so much of a bad idea after all. I somehow felt safe in his presence, and even though you had just met, I felt like I could trust Ren enough to leave him unattended in my lodge room. With that thought in mind, I slowly slipped underneath the covers of my bedsheets and eventually began to drift off. So, Ren, huh? I wonder what tomorrow will bring. No. Thank you. Credits. Kinematic text by Milo. That's nice. Okay, credits. Credits. Do both of them. Yeah. 2 rounds.